Warning.
This podcast may contain spoilers for film and television, and it will also contain explicit content.
Fuck yeah!
Welcome to the Rambling Gen Xer podcast. Welcome back. Been on a little bit of a vacation recently, folks, but we're back and broadcasting live from the Great Midwest, the Great White Midwest because of snow. Let's specify that first before people get outraged. And so today's podcast subject's going to be
No. All right, no, get out of here. I don't.
What?
I don't. No,
Who?
no. Come on,
What?
no. Get a move on. Come on. That's
What?
not what we're doing here. We're not. No.
We got to start our podcast.
Yeah, come on. What are you doing? You're not even allowed to be in here. What the hell?
Get out of the booth.
Come on.
I rented this space.
No, you didn't. Oh my god.
Are you saying my check bounced or something?
Miles, did you let him in here?
Why am I hearing voices?
Okay.
We're the voices in your head, actually.
I do this thing solo.
Yeah. Well, not anymore, bitch.
All right, Henry, what podcast is it?
This is the Macbeef-Banquet podcast, and my name is Miles, his friend Henry.
This is the Macbeef-Banquet podcast. And my name
That's
is
what
Miles.
I said, yeah. And his name's Miles, my name's Henry. And today, if you can't tell, we have a special guest with us. And that guest is a man from this podcast called the Rambling Gen Xer podcast. His name is, would you like to say your name, I guess?
Yeah, my name is Aaron, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
Cool. What's your podcast about?
We're just I started the podcast last summer, or maybe even last spring, I don't know. Just kind of, as the name denotes, I'm a Gen Xer, and recently in the last year or so, I finally kicked the last of my kids out of the house, and
I'm sure that's a real shame. You probably miss him a lot, huh?
it's mixed emotions, and but
Henry's a piece of shit.
You know what? I'm sure he's a real stud, okay?
Well, yeah, I mean, he just bought he just bought his first house and got married and everything. So
Sure, whatever.
But started the podcast, so kind of doing the empty nester thing and having fun. Just started a podcast for the heck of it, and really, kind of what I've started narrowing in on, what I've talked about most often. I've tried a couple different formats. But really kind of what I call dad advice or dadvice, and where I'm just kind of talking to the people out there that still trying to figure their way in life. Punks kind of your age, and
like Miles.
But anyone really, because who doesn't need advice?
Specifically
even
Miles.
Well, that could be some of it, but but anybody really in life. So just, the kids, since they moved out of the house, they can't listen to me anymore, and they don't answer my phone calls. So I figured I'd start a podcast talking about it. But I've explored some other things. A buddy and I went to Scruffy Nerf Herder and I went to Star Wars Celebration last year in Chicago. Had a good time, did some podcasts there. Mm-hmm. I've been testing a couple different formats, but really the dadvice is kind of where I've been kind of focusing. But it's really just kind of an exploration of somebody maybe holding off my midlife crisis. I don't know, but doing the empty nester thing and just having fun.
Yeah. How long is each podcast on average?
They've been averaging about 25 to 30 minutes, I think, about on average.
Okay. Not too bad.
Keep them short, and I've been just playing with the format, improvise some of them, script some of them, just have some fun, kind of figuring out this whole podcast world. I love listening to podcasts, so
I've definitely grown accustomed to listening to podcasts within the last year or so. So I know it.
Right.
I know what it's like.
Yeah.
Yours is definitely more professional than ours because it's scripted. So
well, some of them are scripted. I just kind of wing it, and like I said, it was just all about testing different formats and what I liked, and some I've even done. Like my last one I did actually, which was late last summer, was recorded from a hotel room in Vegas, North Vegas.
Ooh, that's classy.
And just kind of winged it, but that one I didn't really have much more than an outline.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
yeah, it's cool. So you're here on our podcast.
Mm-hmm. You've come to us. You couldn't live with your defeat, and where did that bring you back to us?
Yeah, I stumbled across your guys' podcast a while back. Listened to your guys' first few episodes, and appreciated listening to the reviews. And I think I sent you guys a few messages, and so thank you for inviting me on. I appreciate it. And if you haven't figured out by now, this is not the Rambling Gen Xer podcast. So
yeah, I just feel like people are just gonna listen to that first little bit and just be like, "What the hell is this?" That just turn off.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm kidding.
This isn't what I thought.
Right. No,
Right.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
All right, Henry, what do we do?
So this week we watched a movie. Big surprise. And that movie was called The Vavitch, or I guess it's technically The Witch, but I call it The Vavitch because it's two V's. It's not a W. And that came out in 2015. And that was on Netflix. Now it stars Anya Taylor-Joy.
Wait. Anya Taylor. I thought we were. Oh, I had all this prepped about Henry Cavill. I thought it was an awful lot to watch within a short time.
Yeah, that's a little bit different. That's called.
Are we talking about The Witcher?
No, that's The Bitcher. Come on.
Oh.
And no, we weren't watching that. Sorry.
Oh, The Witch.
Did Miles?
Low key, you kind of scared me, Aaron. I was like, oh shit, he watched the wrong thing.
No, I'm just messing with you.
But yeah, it's got Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph. I said Ineson. I don't know. Kate Dickey.
Einstein.
Harvey Scrimshaw, Sarah Stevens, so on and so forth. Yeah, I liked it. It was definitely different from the usual movies I watch. And it was very it had a very solid sense of style in terms of the whole old-timey witchcraft sort of thing. So it definitely went for its own aesthetic, and I think it hit the mark pretty well. I could see why I guess it was as acclaimed as it was. But what did you guys think of it?
Aaron, why don't you go ahead?
It was interesting, that's for sure. It wasn't your typical horror film. You could definitely tell it was more of an indie feel. There was definitely a few parts I was a little kind of surprised, like with the first abduction. I was a little surprised they went there, and they didn't. And what was interesting about that part in particular was the fact that you didn't have to see the actual killing itself, but what they did in portraying that was probably significantly creepier. And it wasn't a hack and slash. It was much more tension based. It just kind of it was funny because about halfway through I had a feeling, it kind of reminded me quite a bit of in terms of the tension of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining.
Yeah.
And it just kind of it never there weren't really that many. It wasn't relying on jump scares like a horror movie. No. It just slowly ratcheted up the tension throughout the whole movie, and it never really gave you a release of that tension. It just kept screwing that tension tighter and tighter and tighter, and
screwing.
That was definitely a different take, and it wasn't so much either about the witch itself. It was about a family, which I thought was the unraveling of a family, and how that tension was just kind of tearing them apart. So from that perspective, I it was definitely very interesting.
Well, even kind of going back to that ambiance that you were talking about, like, I mean, because even with The Shining too, like they had like those big brash sounds, you know, because like the music was very fitting for that, and I think I could say the same here, or I would say the same here, because I mean the music is sort of unsettling, and they played it I think at the right time to sort of help build that more and more. But
well, they
Miles,
even kind of played the. They even kind of used some of the music at times on just landscape scenes where, you know, the building, the music was kind of building, but it would just be a landscape, and you'd expect something to happen, and then it just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the voices, the women's chorus.
Yeah.
Was used a lot.
Yeah.
Miles, what about you? What'd you think?
I don't know if I don't think you've seen it yet, but The Lighthouse, I drew a lot of parallels with that because it's also this was I think Robert Eggers' first film.
Yeah,
this was his debut.
I definitely like even if I didn't know that, I would have been like, yeah, this is a Robert Eggers film. It's very similar, in like the suspense. I definitely saw like, you know, the first abduction seeing that happen beforehand, and I did enjoy it. I didn't think it was that scary though. Just like I thought the Lighthouse wasn't that scary, but you know, some people would be like, holy shit, that movie is scary. So
Yeah.
it was good though. I really liked it. I don't think I expected the ending, so there is that.
Yeah, I thought that was really funny too. I started laughing a little bit when like after she like signs the book or whatever, and then you just see her walking in the woods with the goat. Just imagine the goat just being like, yeah, all right, let's go, bitch.
Let's goat.
Let's get out of here.
Let's goat.
Yeah.
Well, you know, when the scene, I was kind of hoping the scene when she's washing her father's clothing and the little sister comes up and then she's, you know, does the thing to scare her little sister saying that she's the witch. I'm like, oh, come on. Hopefully they're not making they're not being that blatant with the foreshadowing.
Yeah.
And
they weren't.
You know.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I thought that maybe they were gonna have her be the witch the whole time or something.
Right.
That would have been a little weird, but
Yeah.
I really did like though the sort of I don't know what you call it, like they did with sort of like the witch trials where like the kids were sort of like blaming her and like sort of making her out to be the bad guy, when I mean really she was just trying to, you know, sort of help the family as best she could, sort of, and sort of get into this name calling where it's like it's her, and like, no, it's them.
So they were kind of like under the influence of witchcraft then, because they were kind of, you know, the whole idea of the Salem witch trials was people putting blame, and some of it could have been, you know, people being bewitched. I don't like using that word because it sounds weird, but you know, I think the kids were kind of bewitched and almost using the witch or whatever was using blame, or the goat, you know, was using blame against them in a way. Maybe at least that's just how I saw it.
Yeah. And I definitely agree with you there. What did you guys think of the scene when Black Phillip, I guess is his name, when he like kills the dad or like stabs him and then shoves him into like the wood pile? What did you guys think of that?
That was kind of the one surprising moment. You know, in terms of like the closest thing to a jump scare.
Sure.
Because I didn't really expect that.
Yeah. It was weird.
Yeah.
I guess it was a little confused by how he got killed by it, but I guess the goat tilted its head like all the way down and, you know,
stabbed him. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was just like getting hit with it, but yeah.
Yeah.
I was not expecting everyone to die.
Right. I knew that was gonna happen because I had seen, I think, a clip of that before, and so I sort of recognized it when it was sort of when they were building towards that. So I was like, okay, yeah, that's gonna happen. So that didn't surprise me, but it was interesting. Also, what do you think happened to the twins? Because I mean, technically, they weren't there in the.
Well, she was kind of holding their clothing after that one scene.
I thought they got killed, but Like, I thought I saw their body, but it could have just been, like, I don't know. Because there was the goat.
There was definitely
in
the goat,
front,
yeah.
kind of. And then, like, on the rubble or whatever, there was, like, a body or something. Or clothes, I don't know.
Yeah.
Could have been. We don't see them at all after that, though, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. For sure.
Maybe the goat ate them. The Black Phillip.
Black Phillip.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But anything else, I guess, that you guys wanted to say?
I would recommend it. It was really good. Maybe to people who are into A24 films and those type of movies, because I know Connor wasn't a huge fan of The Lighthouse when she saw it, so I told her afterwards that she probably would not have liked The Witch.
Yeah.
So yeah, but I would still recommend it. It was really good.
I'd say I'd recommend it too. Yeah, especially if you like The Lighthouse.
And it's not that scary, honestly.
No, it's not too bad.
I could see how it would be for some people.
For me, it was more like just kind of constantly unsettling than scary. Like, I mean, I just, sort of had this dread the whole time. Like, yeah, this isn't gonna be fun. Like, even from
also,
the beginning.
if you don't like naked people too.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think most of us do. Right, Aaron?
Yeah. For me, it was just it was creepy more than a horror film.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, it was just, it had this creepy feel, and then certain things, like I said, you know, with the first abduction, and I'm just, you know, the as a older person, and having seen more life, experiences and everything in movies and so on, and I appreciate sometimes I appreciate more and more the less is more kind of theme, and so I don't need all that hack and slash. So I appreciated this, and I appreciated that creepiness and that tension building more. You know, kind of you know, like an old Alfred Hitchcock movie or something, where you don't always, or the old the original black and white Twilight Zone episodes. You know, where you don't always have to show all the technical stuff. Yeah. But you can still tell a good story, and it was, you know, and it was different in the fact that it just, the madness that you see the family being driven to through through the circumstances, and how, and the irony that, and there was a great irony in there that, you know, here they are, the dad leaves the colony because of the plantation because they're super pious, and what do they all end up doing? Lying. You know, deceiving each other, you know, and that piousness just kind of, you know, even the dad, you know, and you know, eventually they all kind of confessed to each other and told the truth, but by that point the deception had gone on so long they couldn't believe each other. And it was just that watching a family, as you know, movies. Going back to The Shining, you know, you see Jack Nicholson's character, spoiler alert, being driven into madness. And, you know, whereas this was the portrayal of a whole family being driven into madness. So I definitely appreciated his different take on it, and or his take on things and how he portrayed things. Some of the creepiness was even a little too creepy for me. Like I said, that first abduction, I was just kind of like, But I thought that was a bit much, but at the same time, I'm not going to forget it. That's for sure.
Right.
You know, so I you know, anyone that wants a typical hack and slash horror film, I don't know if they'll like it as much. It can be a slow burn at parts where some people just want the, you know, the guy in the mask chasing everybody around, and and the
tension to be over,
right? The jump scares and all that. So I watched it late at night. And I think that added to the creepiness of it too, because then I was kind of like, I just sit there in bed afterwards. I'm just kind of like,
waiting for
and I didn't turn the light off for a little while. I found I had to go distract myself with something else, because
that's a good idea,
just to kind of get it out of my head, because it was just kind of, it was interesting. It was definitely an interesting experience. I'm glad that I had, and it'll be one of those movies that that sticks with you. And online, I did see Black Phillip T-shirts online.
Really?
Yeah,
that makes sense.
With the tagline, "Do you want to live deliciously?"
Yeah, it's like, oh,
I love that.
Yeah, I'm thinking I might have to. They're only like $22 or something. I'm thinking I might have to order one.
Right.
Just because then you'll know who's seen the movie.
Mm-hmm. And if you want to live deliciously.
Live deliciously, because most people will be like, "What? What does that mean?" It's a niche thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm excited to see The Lighthouse. I haven't seen it yet, so.
Which one are you gonna go see?
Probably the one up on the peninsula near where I live.
Okay, that's cool. Mm-hmm. I've been there. It's pretty good. Pretty fun to look at.
Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like a dick. Oh, I was gonna say.
Most lighthouses do.
Yeah, unless they're like unconventional.
You can tell they were built by men.
It's just like you just see one that's just like really short and like wide and just doesn't do anything. Sort of defeats the purpose. Going back to the technical stuff that you were talking about, I was reading up on it, and I guess the cinematographer, I don't remember his name or even how to pronounce it, but I guess he was saying that supposedly they just use like natural lighting, so like a lot of like just sunlight and then like candles and stuff from that time, which I thought was kind of interesting. I guess it would add to the ambiance. I don't know if they actually did that or not, because I feel like they could easily just fake it.
Yeah, it did look a little bit. You're right, a little bit like unnatural. Like they had to add a little bit more, but for the most part, it looked pretty.
It was very bleak.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very gray, bleak looking. Jaron Blaschke. And there were some people that I was reading a little bit too, and some people were criticizing because of how gray it was, but others appreciated it because they talked about how it fit the bleakness of what they were going through.
Yeah.
You know.
Back then wasn't always a happy time,
Right.
No.
And there was always everything was always kind of wet and cloudy and gray and muddy and
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Overall, a very depressing time.
Yeah, kind of.
Well, that just makes you think of like what was it, like the Oregon Trail, I guess, or like moving out west and like all the people that like died of dysentery or all these like shitty things that happen, and it's like it was a different time. Not necessarily a better one. Either way, though, yeah, I would recommend it. So, yeah. Anything else you guys wanted to say on that?
No, I'm good.
Cool.
I'm good.
Very cool. Yeah. So that is the Vavitch.
Yeah. Did you guys watch anything this week? Like, not related to the witch at all? Just wondered.
Yeah, I started a new series on Netflix to watch while I'm on the treadmill. I'll pick like a show, and then when I'm at the gym or on the treadmill here at the house, I'll watch an episode. And it's I think it's it's on Netflix. It's called The Heist, I think.
Yeah, that's on my list. I haven't watched it, but yeah.
I'm only 2 episodes in. And it's a foreign made program because you can tell by the lip syncing, or not the lip syncing, but the dubbing. But I like the characters so far. Like I said, I'm only 2 episodes in. It's funny because on the preview for it, it says part 4 is coming out soon. So I thought it was only like going to be like 4 episodes, but it's actually like a TV series. So part 1 has like, I don't know, 9 or 10 episodes or something like that. And I didn't realize that when I didn't. And then, so they've done 3 seasons is what it is. So it's going to be a lot longer of a journey than I thought, but I like the characters so far, and it'll be interesting to see how because it seems like they stretch out the actual heist throughout the whole season.
Thought maybe like the whole show would just be one heist.
Yeah, right.
Well, it looks like the first season it's just the one heist, and but I think so far there's like they're filling it with like flashbacks of their training and this and that and backstory and all that kind of stuff. So,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I started watching.
Yeah.
Henry, you saw anything?
I'm trying to look back. Not really. The only thing I've started watching has just been for fun, and that was I started watching Archer, which is on Hulu, which is kind of funny, but I haven't really been watching as much recently. What about you?
I actually watched a lot this week. For over the weekend, the previous weekend, I watched Daybreak, which is a Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
It's only got one season, and they're not gonna make another one because I guess it got canceled. But I mean, it was all right. It wasn't really good, but it was interesting. It's like how I would describe it is Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the apocalypse.
Okay.
Because he's like narrating, and they actually have Matthew Broderick as the principal. I'm assuming is like a reference to Ferris Bueller. But it's funny. I mean it's like I only left once, but it's supposed to be like a comedy. I'd recommend it, but I wouldn't say it's that great. I also watched Cabin in the Woods, which I've been waiting for a long time to see.
Mm-hmm. Sounds good.
Just came on Hulu. Just came on Hulu. If you want to check that out. I watched MFKZ, which is like a animated French film, which was all right. I don't know. Have much to say on that one.
Sure.
And then I also finally watched the original Friday the 13th.
Wow.
Crackle. And Crackle actually has like not all of them, but like most of the Friday the 13th films, if you're interested in watching those.
And what'd you think of that?
I liked it. I think it was kind of spoiled for me, so I would go into that movie trying not to know what happens, but I kind of knew what happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hoping to finally get to like one of the films. It's like episode 5 or part 5 or whatever, where Jason essentially fights a girl with psychic powers, and I'm kind of interested in what that's gonna be like. So I'll work my way there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. Dope.
All right. So I talked about this before with you, Aaron. We did this Star Wars thing a couple episodes back, like 7 episodes or whatever, because this is episode 26. And what we did was like I was kind of like the DM, dungeon master, whatever, however you want to call it. And it's kind of like we kind of move the plot along. So I guess we'll see how it goes.
Improv it a little bit.
I don't have high hopes, but
how to have high hopes for a living.
All right. So it's kind of based on a movie, but I'm not going to tell you which movie.
Are we?
All right.
Are we both? What? He and I both going to be?
Yes, kind of.
Sort of.
Kind of.
Okay.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So, Aaron, you are you got someone sent you tickets to PodCon, which does exist. I mean, it did. It ended after 2 years, but let's say it continued on. So you get tickets to PodCon, and you take us two boys with you. And we go to PodCon, and we're having a good time. And then you lose us in the middle of the PodCon. And you don't know where we are, but then you see in the far distance a man grabbing our collars and pulling us behind a door, and we're gone. Do you give chase or what do you do?
Damn it, boys. I give chase, obviously, and as I'm heading down there I don't know what the distance is between me and the door, but as I'm heading down there, I'm also watching for if I see any security people or anybody that looks like they're an official there, so that I can flag their attention down as I'm running towards the door. Is it like a door, elevator?
It's like a backstage kind of door.
Backstage.
It's a little bit discreet, so no one really sees it happen almost.
Gotcha. All right, but otherwise I head straight back there.
Yeah. Then you get a call from Henry. Henry, go ahead.
Okay. So yeah, I give you a call, and I let you know that I am secretly the mastermind behind all this, and I
shut the fuck up.
Both of them.
Stop.
It was all my plan.
God.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I called him.
Really?
Obviously. Yeah.
No, Henry.
Yeah, so I've kidnapped Miles now. Obviously.
No.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, this happened.
It's now. No, it didn't happen.
It did.
I can see why you didn't have high hopes for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what Henry calls you and says, "Help! I've been taken."
As part of my master plan.
Taken.
Yeah.
Taken. Get it,
Yeah.
guys? Get it? Taken.
Yeah.
So, we're so you get to the door. You can't open it because it's locked, I guess.
Yep. I locked it.
So then, yeah, Henry locked it.
So I start looking for another way in.
Mm-hmm. Started looking for another way in. You find a door and you go in. You don't see us anywhere. But you see a note on the ground. I'm assuming you pick it up.
B sharp.
And what?
B sharp, C major.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It says this is Henry writing the note. Help! I've been taken. Miles refuses to write a note. He doesn't care.
Yep.
I don't know.
Also, the note at the bottom says hashtag dicks out for Roger Eggers.
Yeah.
One of the.
You had to put
it
in.
One of the two. I forgot which one it was.
Roger Eggers. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
So all you have is the note. What do you do?
Damn it, boys. I'm looking around. I shove the note into my pocket and I start looking around. Is there any other exits? How big is the room?
It's like a long hallway kind of thing.
Well, I know they're not behind me, so I keep going down the hallway.
Mm-hmm. And you see a man without any kids with him or boys. And he's speed walking down kind of he's looking back at you and he sees you and he kind of walks a little bit faster.
Hey, you seen anybody come through here with two kids?
Not
two grown-ass kids.
Two grown-ass adult kids that somehow got themselves abducted. Hey,
I'm talking to you. Not today. It's Tuesday.
And then he goes through a door. He goes to an elevator, and the door is about to close.
Shove my foot in there to block the door.
Nice.
And then he gives a little yelp. He screams just a little bit. A little pee comes out, but you then come in. He's like, please don't hurt me, sir. I don't want to be hurt. I don't know.
The hell are you talking about? Did you or did you not see somebody come through here with two grown ass kids?
I don't. Yeah, you know what? I'll tell the truth. I did see grown ass kids. This is a podcast.
Oh my God.
Well, they were.
No, I did.
They were getting. I think they were getting hauled off against their will, getting pulled by the collar. Something. Two guys that were in distress. Did you see something?
They
Go ahead.
They got on the same elevator as me. They kept pressing buttons 6 and 9 for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, they seem to be bothering the man that was taking them. I don't know what to say. All I can say is good luck. He hits the window behind him because it's a glass elevator. Surprise, and he jumps out to his death.
Huh.
Yeah.
Really, boys?
Yeah.
So I try texting Henry back, or I try calling his phone.
Okay. You can answer, Henry.
New phone. Who dis?
What the hell's going on?
You still gotta answer my question. Who is this?
Who do you think it is? Look at caller ID, dipshit.
I don't know what to read. What kind of question is that? Caller ID? I don't have that.
Where are you? What's going on? Why did it look like you guys got hauled off? What's going on?
Okay, all I know is that me and Miles are stuck here with this guy. I don't know where we are, but anyway, thank you for calling. It's been nice talking to you. And
tell him to send Cheetos.
Oh, Miles said to send Funyuns.
Yeah, send Funyuns. Also, we're held against our will.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know where to send them. Obviously, where are you?
Miles, where should we send them? Where should we send them? The Funyuns to.
Luke Besson. I don't know.
Luke Besson.
Luke Skywalker Besson. Yeah. Whatever that was. Yeah.
Floor. And then the phone gets the phone gets cut off, and you see the man who has kidnapped us.
I thought you were going to say the man who killed himself.
The zombie, yeah. No, the man who kidnapped us. He's like, what? Who are you? What do you want?
Who are you, and what'd you do with the two guys I was with? Two grown-ass kids.
I took them. They are now mine. I own them.
Are you sure you want to do that?
Yeah, I do.
Do you even know who they are? Because you might regret that decision.
These are the boys from the Macbeef-Banquet podcast. They're world famous.
They're gonna make me millions.
They're gonna make me millions.
Right.
See, I've got them recording a podcast right now, and he turns it, because let's just say we're on like a voice phone
FaceTime
video chat. A phone. You're on video chat, and he turns the camera, and you see us two grown ass boys recording a podcast.
What's the room look like? Is there anything I can identify to kind of figure out where they're at?
It looks just like any hotel room because I guess I should have said that this was held in a banquet hall in a hotel, but that's where it is.
Right.
Yeah, the Macbeef-Banquet Hotel. Yeah, we own it. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. And you can see it kind of out the window. I don't know, the city or whatever. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then he's like, "What are you gonna do, little man?" He's a very mean man.
Very mean man. Well, we're. Well, one of them needs Funyuns. Where do I deliver them to?
You can deliver them to my room, and then he hangs up, and then he calls you back because he didn't mean to.
Wow, I can tell you're as enlightened as they are. Maybe I'll leave them with you.
Okay. He's like, are you gonna come up here and tell me you have a particular set of skills, sir? What are you doing?
You don't know who you're messing with. I'm a man with a lack of particular skills. But I do know how to call security.
And then before he hangs up, he says good luck. And then he hangs up. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. And you can see when you look at the elevator, with the buttons,
mm-hmm.
the elevator buttons, there's orange fingerprints on 6 and 9, as Henry stated earlier. So it's one of those floors. I assume. I don't know though. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's start with floor 6, I guess.
Okay, so you head up to there, and then ding! Oh look, you're on the floor.
You're on the floor.
Perfect.
You're just on the floor.
Yeah. Yep. You look around. There's no one in the hallway. Let's see. There's about 100 rooms
mm-hmm.
on the floor. You hear a lot of screams Good and bad screams.
So
this is a hotel after all.
Yeah. So you start exploring, and then you find a room where the screams are coming from. But it's filled with people that look exactly like us, all wearing the same outfits.
But it's not us.
But none of it's not us, obviously. What do you do?
Perfect.
Are there cameras in the hallway?
No.
Like security cameras?
There's one that is facing the elevator, and that's it.
Okay.
So it's the hallway. It's like a hallway, and there's like rooms to the left, rooms to the right, and then there's the elevator where you came out of. So it's facing the elevator.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. Do I see any orange Cheeto fingerprints anywhere?
You see, someone had dragged their orange Cheeto printed fingerprints along the right wall, leading down.
Mm-hmm. Then do they stop? Mm-hmm. Do they stop somewhere?
They stop at the room 68.
Of course.
They also made 2 circles and then a sort of overarching loop
pointing to something. Yeah. It seems.
Yeah.
So I knock on that door.
Okay. Chester the cheetah, Chester the cheetah answers the door. He's like, "What's up, man?
I've been waiting for you.
How's it going? I've been waiting for you." You're the prostitute I ordered, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I may as well make a few bucks pay for this trip.
I know who you are. You're Milz and Henry's father. Henry's dead. They're next door. I can hear them screaming. It's pretty weird. I don't know what's going on over there, but they've been screaming your name.
Then he puts back on his leopard print robe that he dropped.
Yeah, perfect. Yep,
all right, thanks. So then I go down to what I'm assuming is room 69.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
And I knock on that door.
The man who was on the phone earlier answers it, and he's like, "Did you bring the Funyuns?"
I push into the room past him.
He falls back and gives a little yelp and cries just a little bit.
And our Macbeef-Banquet sitting there?
Yes.
Yep.
What the hell's going on here, boys?
Oh, we planned this. This was all a ruse. Mm-hmm. And then the man that you knocked over gets up, pulls a gun out and points it at all of us at the same time. It's a 3-barrel gun.
3-barrel gun.
They each go different directions.
Yeah.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. No, that's what I say. Really?
Oh yeah. I know, it's really hard to believe. And he's like, yeah, they paid me $5 to take them.
$5. Who's they, dipshit?
These 2 beautiful boys.
The fuck?
So then I look at the boys and I'm like, I would have given you concession money. Really?
Okay, Henry, go ahead. I'll let you take over.
That's when
I need a break.
So that's when I dive in front of Miles to save him from the coming bullet, but there's no bullet that's fired from the gun, so I just fall on the floor and look like an idiot. And then I tell them that those boys that Miles mentioned are people from a rival podcast of ours. It's called the Banquet Macbeef podcast.
And, yeah, our famous rivals.
They are our famous rivals. Yep.
Trying to kill them for years now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Years.
Yeah. So, first thing we have to do is pay off the hitman that's trying to kill us. But we don't have any money, so we need your help.
We figured that this would be a good way to extort money out of you.
That's why we wanted you to bring the Funyuns. To pay him off with Funyuns.
Yeah.
Well, I don't carry much cash on me, boys. You know that.
Did you at least bring the Funyuns?
No, I didn't bring the goddamn Funyuns.
God damn it.
We're all gonna die.
Yeah, and then he radios in more big burly men. They all come in. There's three more big burly men with 3-barrel guns.
Some of them are pointing them sideways.
Yeah, one of them's kind of dumb and he points it at himself. So there's that.
The barrels are curved backwards.
Yeah. and they say we're gonna blow you sky high, boys.
And then put down their guns. Because they have bombs strapped to their chest.
I couldn't breathe.
Obviously, that's what I meant.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, they have bombs strapped to their chest.
So you're gonna kill these guys for a bag of Funyuns?
Yeah, that's what we came here for. We don't have any Funyuns in our homeland. Europe. Europe is our homeland. God.
Fine, I'll go get you some goddamn Funyuns.
They let you pass, and they stay in the room. No, two of them follow you. The dumb one and the first one.
The dumb one.
Yep. Yeah, the dumb one. His name is actually Dumb One. It's French. Don't worry.
Dumb One.
All right, so I walk back to the elevator and get in the elevator. Push ground floor.
Mm-hmm. They laugh for some reason. They think it's humorous. I don't know.
So when the elevator opens, I get out and I go walking towards the exit of the hotel.
Okay, they also continue following you.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But as you're walking, you see a vending machine, and you walk up to it, but it's filled only with Cheetos.
No, I keep walking past it.
Okay.
I go out the main entrance and go find my car.
Okay. You gonna leave us?
He just drives off, yeah.
Yeah.
So I get in my car, pull my phone out.
They also get in the car with you.
The
dumb one gets in the trunk.
Okay, I thought you meant us. Like, we get in the car with them.
Pull out my phone and Google the closest Walmart, because I ain't not paying concession prices at a convention.
Oh, that's good. Smart, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They chat, and they're in the back, and one of them makes a joke about driving Miss Daisy.
I don't care. Whatever.
Okay, so you're at Walmart, and then they like hook their arms under yours, and they carry you in, because they want to make it easier on you to get them damn Funyuns.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into Walmart. You go to the Funyun section of the store, a big aisle full of Funyuns.
So along the way, or first of all, I shake them off. I'm like, I can walk myself.
That's all they say.
Mm-hmm. So as I'm walking through Walmart, I take the long way and I look for something that has something small that probably has a security device embedded in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I palm that, and then I head over to the Funyuns section, because Walmart has a whole section just for Funyuns. And,
yeah, it's Walmart.
Yeah.
All right, Henry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. And as you get to the Funyuns, you're stopped because you feel something hard poking into your back. It's a gun, and you
the
turn
3-barrel
around.
gun.
Yeah, and you turn around, and it's none other than Chester the cheetah from earlier. He's back, and he's yelling at you for not buying Cheetos instead of Funyuns.
And he wants his money back.
And he wants his money back.
He didn't give me any money. I'm not giving him money.
He protests. He says, "Yes, I gave you money for what we did earlier."
He stops him a minute to snort a line of Cheeto dust off his arm.
And then he never mind. I'm not gonna fucking say that. He vomits up a bag of Cheetos. He's like, "Here, buy this."
I'm not touching that.
There's like orange dust with saliva like dripping down the bag.
So I tell the dumb guy to pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
He picks it up and bites the bag open like just takes a bite out of the bag. He spits it out and onto the aisle of Funyuns, and he's like, this
tastes like shit.
Yeah, you taste like shit.
So I turn around and I grab a case of Funyuns, like a big box of them.
Yeah, a box of Funyuns.
And I shove them into the arms of one of the guys, and I kind of shove it kind of hard into his arms, so it kind of throws him off balance. And while he's regaining his balance, I slip the small item that's got the security device into his pocket, because he's wearing a henchman jacket. All henchmen do.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I slip it into his pocket, and I'm like, "Here," and then I grab another case and give it to the other guy and say, "All right, let's go."
Now, just before you go to leave, Chester's still upset that you're not buying more Cheetos, so he goes to shoot you, but he's got the gun with the barrels pointed backwards, and he shoots himself and dies. So now you can continue on your way.
So I pay for the goddamn Funyuns, and then we walk out through the exit where the security devices are. And then as we walk through, the security devices go off.
And the dumb one starts screaming like bloody murder.
So then the vicious Walmart security appears out of the that's over by the bakery entrance. So they pop out from behind the display of French bread.
French bread. Sorry, it's not even funny.
Baguette.
Baguette. And they run up and tackle the two henchmen because the security thing is in his pocket. And then in the confusion, I grab one of the boxes of Funyuns and I take off to the car and get in the car and drive away before they can catch me and head back to the hotel.
And you can as you drive away, you hear the screams of the dumb one, screaming.
Yes. And so you're on your way back to the hotel when all of a sudden you hear the sirens of the French police. Wee-woo, wee-woo, wee-woo.
And as you walk through the hotel entrance, you see on the news.
Well, I'm not back there yet.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
So I see a Denny's on the way, and I stop and I go have breakfast because I never had breakfast.
Of course. Yeah. Take your time.
Yep. A couple pancakes, some eggs, bacon.
Grits, sausage.
And then the waitress says, "Hey, did you hear about Chester the cheetah died in Walmart early this morning?"
Oh yeah, that's a shame.
Committed suicide, they say.
I guess he
in front of a man.
I guess he didn't Cheeto death this time.
Yeah, and I guess the other barrels of the gun were pointed at other customers, and I guess he shot them too. It's a real shame.
It's Walmart. What do you do?
Okay, so you're driving back, I assume?
So I give the waitress a nice tip. Tell her not to eat yellow snow.
Nice
and
tips.
Then,
don't say that.
Get back in the car and drive back to the hotel.
Obviously.
And on the radio, you hear a U.S. hero, Chester the Cheetah, was killed early this morning. And then you reach the hotel. You're walking through the hotel lobby. On the television news, you see a world hero, Chester the Cheetah, was murdered in cold blood early this morning, and they have your face plastered on the screen.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone looks at you, but doesn't really do anything.
My sweatshirt up around my face.
Smart.
And kind of lift the box of Funyuns up a little higher and peek out from behind it as I make my way to the elevator.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Henry, go ahead.
So, as you're trying to make your way to the elevator, you start to see people following you close behind. You start to pick up the pace a little bit. You turn down one hallway, but there's more people coming down there, so you have to duck into a little side closet. And as you do, you see that there's no option to escape, but there is a furry costume in the corner.
And it's Chester the Cheetah.
It's Chester the Cheetah.
Yeah.
What do you do?
What do you do?
What? Put the costume on, duh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you walk out into the hallway. You hear screams as you walk with a box of Funyuns. They're all saying, zombie, he was shot, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
And then you get to the elevator.
And I get in the elevator, head on up.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you head to the room. You knock on the door, and in the room there's, what was it, like 3 people left?
Mm-hmm.
All with bombs strapped to their chest, and the guns still on the floor. They never picked them up. They were kind of just frozen in place when you left. And we're still sitting there, recording the podcast.
And all of a sudden, bang! Miles shoots you in the leg because he thinks you're Chester the Cheetah.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
no, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Henry, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so they open the door for you. And they when they see the box of Funyuns, they grab it and like drop it onto the floor and start eating it like ravenous beasts. And it's scary how beast-like they sound. Yeah.
So I pick up the gun that's still on the floor and I motion you guys to let's get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
We put our hands up because we think you're gonna shoot us. We get out. And then we're like, thank you, Chester the Cheetah. That was so kind of you. How can we ever repay you?
Do you want us to eat your Cheetos?
No. Let's go, boys.
And then all of a sudden, in walk five more armed men with guns. And behind them walks in Chester the motherfucking Cheetah. He's back. What do you do?
So you have 2 Chesters staring at each other.
Mm-hmm. He's like, oh yeah, I faked my death, bitch.
I can never die.
I am a cat.
I am inevitable.
He's got like the fucking Infinity Gauntlet on.
So I point the gun at Chester and I yell at the henchman, guys, that's not the real Chester the Cheetah. Quick, grab him.
So they tear him apart like they did with the Funyuns box, and then we leave and ride off into the sunset. You still in your cheetah, your Chester the cheater outfit. It's a knockoff.
And yet they believe that he was the other guy.
Yeah, they still believed it. All right. Nice. The end. Wow, what a good story.
Ta-da.
Wow.
I did it.
I did. We did.
Insert applause sound effect.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Henry?
Yeah. Oh, you know what we should do? We should do some more of those questions. Those ones we were going to answer from that list. That'd be fun.
Trivia?
Oh, no, I was thinking like the list of like questions.
Oh, no. Trivia. It's trivia time, Henry.
What? Oh, okay.
It's trivia time.
I was thinking we could do something different. All right, whatever. Whatever you want, Miles.
Do you want me to? I can.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so I've got 9 questions for y'all. I was gonna think of a 10th, but I couldn't. So.
Okay.
5 of which are about the Vovitch, and the others are just about random stuff. So, starting with 1 for, make it the.
Oh yeah, and by the way, Aaron, we're kind of like working together on this, so it's like both of our points go to the.
Gotcha.
We're like we're like a team.
Yeah, exactly. And if you guys win, which you might, I don't know, then.
Do we get a box of Funyuns?
You get a box of Funyuns. Exactly.
I'd rather take Cheetos.
Nice.
Well, we can throw in some Cheetos there too.
Yeah, it's fine. We got the budget for it, so it's fine.
That's great. So, where did production take place for The Witch, A New England Folktale? Where do you think it, based off of the scenery and everything, where do you think it took place?
It's an independent film.
I'll give you each a guess.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I'll say California. No, that's a bad answer. I'll just say Michigan.
Yes.
Why not?
Vast cold forests of California.
It's an independent film, so I'm gonna say maybe up in Canada somewhere.
That's a good one.
Wow. Sorry to say it, guys, but you're right. It was Canada.
Wow. Good job.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So they were. I think they were. It is specifically Kiosk, Ontario, that they went to. They were originally wanting to go to New England itself originally, but because of like tax incentives, they couldn't. So they went to Canada instead. Which is interesting. Now, what year does The Witch take place?
I think Pilgrims, so it's probably 1600s.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with like 1696 or something. I feel it in my gut. I'll go with that. I don't know.
All right.
It's probably the Funyuns.
Yeah, it's the Funyuns.
It's the Funyuns talking.
All right, I don't know if that's.
Oh, I thought.
Oh, yeah, 1600 sometimes. I'll say
1695.
1632.
Really close. There's 1630 on the dot.
Oh,
so
shit.
We're close. We're close.
Are you giving it to us? What?
I guess I will.
Okay.
I mean, it's pretty close. It's 1630. All right. So this one I'll give each of you 2 guesses. So after you each guess the first time, I'll say whether you're right or wrong, and then I'll give you a second guess. So how many days did filming take place over? Like how long? For The Witch, obviously.
I'm gonna say 62 months.
All right. Oh, and I'll say higher or lower after.
Yeah.
Did you say 62 months?
No.
It's a long time for production.
I said 60 days and then, 2 months.
Oh, yeah. I was kind of thinking somewhere around the 2-month time frame. But just to throw out an alternate answer, I'll say 3.5 months.
Lower.
For both of us?
Yes.
Really?
Okay.
90 days.
Math?
I'm going to go with 1 month.
Close. There's 25 days.
Wow.
25 days. Damn.
Mm-hmm. That must have been pretty efficient, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So was that a no?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. In colonial New England, what animal was considered to be a magical creature associated with witches? I'll say it again. In colonial New England, what animal was considered to be a magical creature that was associated with witches?
A goat?
Think about what animals we saw in the film.
Rabbits?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, rabbits.
That is hares. Yep, hares were, I guess.
Hares.
Yeah.
All of them?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All the ones on your body. Okay, so the old witch's name, or the actor who played the old witch in the movie, was Bathsheba. So it's Bath and then Sheba, which is interesting. Which is also the name of the antagonist in what 2013 horror film?
Bathsheba.
It's like I guess technically in that film it's like a spirit that sort of possesses people.
Oh shit! It sounds familiar.
It's like a spirit of an old witch, I think, is what it was.
Mm-hmm. Is it an American film?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Excuse you.
That was the creak of my chair. Sorry.
2013. I guess I don't know. I don't know the answer to this one.
You have an answer, Deb? Are you looking it up?
No, the only one I can think of is the one from the biblical. The name originally comes from the Bible and King Solomon and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea in terms of a horror movie that it was used in. I'll take a guess and say The Ring. I don't know.
It was The Conjuring.
Conjuring.
Oh, Conjuring. Okay. I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it either, actually. But I've seen parts of it. But yeah. All right. So these next four are sort of geared. 2 of them are geared towards Miles, and 2 of them are geared towards Deb, or at least geared towards what I know their interests to be. So 6 and 7. These ones are definitely for you, Miles, totally, because you'll totally get these. That's totally not sarcasm. Number 6, in BG or Battlestar Galactica, the term skin job refers to humanoid Cylons. Isn't that sexy? What funny. 82 sci-fi film is this a reference to?
Wait, what are they relating to?
Skin jobs. It's like humanoid-looking robots, basically.
Mm-hmm.
If you can think about any movies that might, deal with that.
Skin job.
It's a pretty prominent one.
I think I know which one it is, but I'll let Aaron answer first since it's his.
No, it's your question. I thought it was your question.
No, I was joking.
No, it's for you. It's for you.
I don't think Miles has seen Battlestar Galactica. Have you?
I have not. No.
I've heard it's pretty good. I want to watch it. But yeah.
Oh, duh. That's Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say Alien. So.
Yeah.
Alien does have human-looking androids. I mean.
When did Alien come out? That was what, 79? Something? Or
yeah,
80?
I think so.
Something like that. Close enough.
Close enough. Now,
I think Aliens was 83, so yeah, I think Alien, was 79 sounds right. It could be off though.
Ridley Scott was making a lot of movies sci-fi movies.
People can correct us down in the comments.
All right, now next one, also about the same show. The phrase "end of line," which is spoken by the hybrids, I guess, which you'll know what that is. I guess I don't. Is a reference to what other 1982 sci-fi film? I think it was 82. Let me double check. Yeah, it was 82. It's a movie that I know you have seen and you have shown to me.
To end of the line.
It was known for like its special effects at the time. If that helps. You might not be able to get this one, but.
All right, so for this next part of the podcast, I somehow accidentally turned off my recording, so I'm going to try and recreate my reactions and my answers as best I can. So we'll see how good I am, okay? Hey, this is Miles from the future, the even later future, coming to tell you that I had tried to recreate it, but I somehow fucked that up too. So here's Aaron and Henry talking to a person who can't be heard at all. Let's see how well that sounds, okay? Yeah, I know, it's awesome, right? Yeah.
No, it sounds familiar. Sounds really familiar. 82.
Let me see if I can think of any other hints I can give you. Let me see if I can name a obscure actor in it or something. No, I can't give that away. It was directed by Steven Lisberger, I guess, if that helps. I don't know if you'd know that, but I'm trying to think of like obscure hints that I can give that don't give it away.
82.
Yep. It did have a sequel that came out, or like sort of like a sequel, almost sort of like a reboot, but technically it is a sequel, which came out in 2010.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Tron.
Yep. That's right. Yeah, that was came out in 82. It was a good movie. Have you ever seen Tron, Miles? Well, you have. Yeah, pretty solid.
Next time you watch it, watch the credits. Part of the credits. I didn't realize something until I showed the movie to the boys years ago. That the credits has a direct Matrix reference. Or I'm sorry, Matrix took something. It's actually a key part of the film from Tron's credits. And there's I think the ship, the main bad guy's ship in Tron is the name of one of the ships in the Matrix also. So there's a lot of the Balthazar or something like that. Yeah. But yeah, the end credits for Tron, when I saw it with the boys, I was like, whoa,
that's cool.
That's cool.
Dope. Also, I was gonna work this into a question, but I figured 2 was enough for that. But in a shot, I guess, of the vortex at Ragnar Station, I don't know if you know what that is, but you can see a rebel transport from Empire Strikes Back, I guess.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
that's funny.
look for that or something. I figured I might watch the show at some point because I know it's really good. Anyway, so the next two for Miles. Dad, obviously.
Oh, in Battlestar Galactica, there's a rebel ship. I got you. Ragnar,
Battlestar Galactica.
Ragnar Station at the beginning. Yeah.
So, as a running gag for the show Psych, you'll find what 5 things in every single episode. What is it? Yep, that's right. So there's no. One of them is an action. Yep. One is a question. One is a phrase, and then one is a word. Which is kind of odd, but yeah. I guess this is kind of all up to you, Miles, because I don't think my dad has seen Psych. But
no, I have not.
Pretty solid show, all around. Mm-hmm. Nope. Oh, and I'll give you 3 strikes if you get So that's fine. No. The question is a 1-word question, if that helps. Although it's a yes, that's right. And then the word is something we actually said on this podcast already earlier. No, but if you can, it has to do with the movie.
Cheetos?
Nope, the movie that we watched. It has to do with the witch, yeah. Or it was
Pilgrim?
a word we pointed out earlier.
Hair?
Specifically having to do with Black Phillip, if you remember. If that helps at all.
Delicious?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. That's said in every episode, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. It's a phrase. Trying to think if, like...
I got a bad feeling about this.
No. Sort of similar, but not really. It is, I can't do this. The phrase is, I can't do this right now. Yeah. Pretty solid. But yeah, it's definitely a good show. I recommend it. Indeed. Yeah.
That was a USA show, wasn't it?
Yep.
All right.
So, all right, number 9. Psych often shared extras with what 2005 TV show that filmed in the same area? No.
Oh, that would have been my guess.
It was Supernatural, which I guess, yeah, which I didn't know. I didn't know that, but yeah, I guess they're filming in the same area. Have you ever seen Supernatural? Yeah.
Probably that production company or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You got so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, technically, I might give you at least partial credit for like the number 8 because it did have 5 things for you, and you got most of them.
Now back to your regularly scheduled programming. So how many did we get right? Sorry, I interrupted you.
Like 5.5 out of 9. Because I mean, like, I'll give you like partial credit for 8 because there were like 5, basically 5 things to get. So,
okay.
Either way, you won. So good job.
Cool.
You guys get some Funyuns laced with Cheeto dust.
Fun.
Wismo Funyuns. Yeah.
All right.
Indeed.
All right. Let me. Okay. Next week, Henry and I will be watching a film entitled Adam. It is on Hulu. And I'll read the synopsis for you. Awkward teen Adam spends his last high school summer in New York City with his sister, Casey, who throws herself into the city's lesbian and trans activist scene.
Interesting.
It is, drama comedy. I figured we'd need a break after something spooky.
A dramedy, if you will.
Yeah, dramedy. Okay, so yeah, check it out on Hulu.
Yeah.
It looks good. Yeah.
It's pretty solid all the way around. Yeah.
Okay. So.
Thanks for listening.
I gotta. Hold on.
No, I'm not doing the outro yet. I was just saying.
Okay.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. That's it.
Thanks for listening.
Okay.
Guys.
Aaron, if you can see what I just sent, would you mind saying that?
This.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
No, actually, it was up there, but it disappeared.
This podcast is
brought to you by the Rambling Jack. Oh, sorry, wrong part. Just kidding.
Comedy.
This is the Macbeef-Banquet podcast, available on Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Breaker, Castbox, Google Podcasts, Pocket Cast, Podbean, Radio Public, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, and YouTube.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
That's funny.
So yeah, thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
And Aaron, do you have anything you want to shout out, like your podcast, perhaps? Or,
yeah, I'll be launching new episodes soon. I've been on a little hiatus just because I've been doing some fun stuff outside the podcast world. Went back to school, doing some fun stuff, and but yeah, I primarily broadcast on Anchor.fm, but you can catch me on Spotify is a good one. I'm not on as many cool services as you guys are, but Anchor.fm and Spotify are probably the two best ways to find me. Breaker also, I get a lot of listens on Breaker, so shout out to all the Breaker people out there, and Rambling Gen Xer.
Nice. And do you have a Twitter account for?
I do. Rambling Gen Xer on Twitter. I'm also on Instagram, and I shout out things every once in a while, especially on Twitter. More so than, but yeah, I'll post something on Instagram from time to time. Also, random little things.
Okay, cool. Thanks for being on our podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Hopefully we can have you on again sometime soon.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Not that soon, but you know.
Yeah, he's on with us every week.
Oh, thanks a lot.
Takes over the podcast.
Yeah. That's just.
He's like. Go ahead.
I'm a symbiote, just kind of just sending out my. Yeah, did you see the article on that human skin yarn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's gross.
That was pretty freaky.
Right.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me. I got to go.
Okay.
Thanks for being with us.
You guys have a good one.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right.
You too. Now get out of our booth.
Yeah.
Quit touching me there.
Can you... Bye-bye.
Click.